Good evening. It is so good to see all of you. Thank you for being here. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Reverend Tim Lytle, or Bhakta Tim, as some call me, and I am the senior minister here at Unity Church of Hawaii. It is such an honor to have you here. Thank you for coming. And did you have some challenges finding parking? Okay, so a few of you did. There might be some more people on their way who might be looking for parking. We have a huge honor tonight. Just this morning, His Grace Padmanayana Das arrived here from Mayapur, India, and he is the director of the Mayapur Institute, which, and please correct me if I say anything wrong, Maharaj, but what the Mayapur Institute is for international study of ancient literature that is not just dry literature, but is actually a living entity that teaches us spiritual principles about life, about spiritual growth and self-realization. And that, in fact, is the topic that is going to be presented tonight, is the science of spiritual growth and self-realization. Self-realization meaning, realizing who we really are and what our position really is. And so it is a really big honor to have His Grace Padmanayana Das here, to have my guru, Narahari Das, here, my good friend and colleague, Daiva Das, the president of the temple, good friend and associate, Govinda Das, and a whole lot of other Dases that are, and Dasis. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's a whole bunch of, all of you are wonderful spiritual beings. All of you came into this world with this spiritual presence, and it is an uncovering of that presence that we discover in our lives so that we can discover who we really are and what we're really here to do. Now, I want to thank Vishaka Corbett and the rest of the devotees for bringing some prasad, some of the food and so forth. Thank you. And what has been requested is that we not be eating or drinking during the actual presentation, okay, so that we can give full attention to the presentation. But that's not just refreshments. Like I was explaining to some earlier, in the Christian tradition, we have communion. And that's seen as a sacrament. It's seen as something holy. In fact, in the Catholic Church and some churches, communion is non-different from the presence of God. That's what prasad is. That's how special that is. That's what they brought to share with us tonight. Yeah, thank you. I like to make these connections between groups because there's so many commonalities. And so we're here to open our hearts. What I have found in getting to know and really building this connection with His Grace Padmanayana Das is that he has an open heart. And he wishes to share with us from the level of the heart. Wishes to share with us at that level, not where we're just talking to the intellect, but actually going to the heart, going to that place where God resides. So we're going to start Let's see, was there anything else I needed to announce? It's just so auspicious to have you all here. We are being live streamed, okay? There will be an opportunity. Oh, so if you're wondering where you can watch this later, and love streamers, that's what we call you, love streamers, we thank you for joining us. We know that right where you are being ministered to just as we are here. We love you and we welcome you. And thank you for joining us. Let's give our love streamers some love. Thank you. Okay. We have a YouTube channel. You can watch us on our YouTube channel. We're also on our website. You can go and see things live streamed on our website. We archive them. YouTube channel, our website. I'd also like to look at the possibility of putting this on the New Thought channel. There's all kinds of ways we can get this message out. And every month, there are thousands of people who watch us. And on our YouTube channel, the second largest group is India. So I'm really hoping that we have a large number of Indian devotees watching. So we welcome you. We love you. We thank you for coming. And be sure after the program to get some more prasad, or if you haven't gotten it yet, be sure and get some before you leave. We're going to start with some chanting. Now, I'm very honored. I've been honored in a lot of ways recently. I was very honored to pick up His Grace Padmanayana Das at the airport and have time with he and my guru, Narahari, and to have prasad together. I was so honored. And then I was asked if I would lead the chanting. And so I'm very honored to do that, if I would stop crying. Anyway. So, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Now everyone. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Haribol Shri Advaita Gadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Isn't that beautiful? Hare is the feminine, the name for Radha, that divine aspect of God, the Godhead. Radha, Hare, and Krishna, the all-attractive one, all beautiful. You know? It's like that in you that just longs for the most beautiful. There it is. Rama, of course, is... Tell me a little bit about Rama. That, like, all-powerful, that Ram was this king who was very strong and regal. So each time we sing this, we're saying 16 names of God. So this is one of the forms we studied in our meditation class, right? It's called the Maha Mantra, and it's a way of really getting in touch with that presence of God. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to... Thank you. You felt it. So Rama is reservoir of pleasure. And hey, who doesn't like that? Right? But so much of the pleasure we seek is fleeting. This pleasure is not. This is substantial, enduring, and absolute. So, thank you all for coming. And it is my joy to now turn this over to our wonderful colleague and friend and teacher, His Grace Padmanayana Das.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Congratulations, all spiritual sons and daughters of God. This evening topic is signs of spiritual growth and self-realization. In this discussion, we will be giving you the message of Godhead to help us understand our spiritual journey, understanding God, realizing Brahman, way back home, back to Godhead. We will be referring to Shruti Pramana. Anything we say, there has to have some authoritative evidence. Anything we do in our daily life, we always look forward to authoritative engagements. Just like giving an example, when you are driving on the way, you are going to a new spot, and you are looking for an assistance who can guide you on the true path. And all of a sudden, you turn on your GPS. Right? Why? Because that is also Sabda Pramana. That's the evidence that never guides you wrong. And you on your GPS, you find it will guide you through to come to the correct destination. Similarly, we, the practitioners of Krishna consciousness, look forward to taking the guidance from Shruti Pramana, which can never give us wrong guidance. So in that way, you will know what I am going to speak is authoritative. So many people, they would like to hear from Shruti, Veda, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, commentary of Vedanta Sutra. So mostly in this evening lecture, we will be from time to time referring to Gita Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, others, Veda, and the natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, so that you can understand the substance behind our talk. So, the topic, as I said, today is the signs of spiritual growth and self-realization. In this connection, we will be referring to the following points, such as way to advance in our spiritual journey. What would a spiritual teacher have to teach about spiritual journey? Elemental condition of the spirit soul in relation to the complete personality of Godhead, and the most effective process to attain highest form of God realization. So to start with the discussion, ways to advance in our spiritual journey. In every society, we find there is an interest in the human being to find the ways for our spiritual journey. That's how different faiths or beliefs, you may say, is seen in different societies. What does it mean? What does it aim at? It aims at guiding the living entities to attain Kaivalya. Kaivalya means ultimate liberation. That ultimate liberation is defined differently by different spiritual leaders. We're going to look at it in the later part of our discourse today. So, now a question comes, if God is one, we all are one, human species, human being, why are there different faiths, different paths led by different spiritual teachers? Well, we need to understand our position. If I ask you a question, you can definitely see why there is so many divisions of faith in the world today. We all are not on the same platform in terms of our intellect, our understanding, our situation in this material world. We all are located in different platforms. So according to our positioning in this world, we are asked to accept some path which can guide us in a comfortable way from where we are to attain to the one point, that is Godhead. Yes, you can say this is the confirmation. So, that's how different spiritual teachers, they come and they teach us the philosophical aspect of God realization so that we can attain to Him. In Vedic literature, you find the name of different teachers who came and taught us different ways to realize God. Just like in India, there are 6 prominent philosophers, Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, Patanjali, Ashtavakra. So all these different philosophers are there, and they have made the study of the material nature very scrutinizingly and giving us some guidance how, as a living entity, which is a combination of spiritual nature and material nature, by having an analytical understanding of the material nature, can approach God. Similarly, we have our spiritual teachers who are coming in 4 recognized Vaishnava Sampradaya: Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami. Then in the line of Madhvacharya, we can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of course Bhakti Vinod Thakur, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They all have come on this line to enlighten us by making us recognize our spiritual nature to attain Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So, as we said, living entities are combinations of spiritual nature and material nature. Some philosophers, they try to make an analytical study of this material nature and bring the living entities towards God. Some others who directly bring us in connection with the spiritual nature of the living entity to guide us, connect with Godhead directly. So we are very fortunate to have that connection in our line, which is coming from Lord Brahma, headed by Madhvacharya. That's how we are the people belong to Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And we are the one who always refer to the Shrutis in understanding those spiritual subject matters correctly. So, here, spiritual journey. Let us take an example. People are very much attached to their surroundings, where they live in. Why? Because that's how they try to gather knowledge from, apply, so that they can comfortably live with their life. If you try to see the analytical study of the material nature, Veda gives the description about 24 elements which constitutes the living entities. And there is false ego, intelligence included there. 3 modes of material nature. So all these elements, the study of all these elements constitute the study of the material nature of the living entity. And people who are in that state of consciousness, they need to be guided accordingly from that state of consciousness to uplift them for God realization. That's how we can see in our Hindu philosophy, even in Christianity, Islam, there is one particular way which is guiding the soul how they can come to the heavenly planet. I hope you are quite aware of this fact. They feel the ultimate end for the soul is to go to heaven. Some people, they say like that. Of course, in scripture, there is a statement how by performing some ritualistic ceremonies, you can go to heaven. That's how piety, punya karma, auspicious activities, those are enjoined in the Vedic literature. If followed correctly, that can guide the soul to attain paradise. Then, simultaneously, there is instructions given how by committing some sinful activities, the living entity will be sent to hell. And also there are information about having committed mistake in the conditioned state of life, they need to go through some purificatory process. In Hindu society, they may say the process of atonement. In Christianity, you may say purgatory, right? Kind of. Anyway, every faith, they have this concept. What I mean to say is the concept is seen in every faith. Why? Because we are conditioned. So in that way, they are guiding us how gradually you can go forward. But that's not the end of everything. If we say, for example, this process of atonement, you have committed some mistake, Now you need to go through the purification process until you qualify to come to the higher level. In our Srimad Bhagavatam, which is natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra, it is said, Prayaschittam athopartham manne kunjara sauchavat. Sometimes I need to say some Sanskrit so that you understand it's coming from Shruti. I'm not speaking from my mind. Because again, why I'm not just giving some logic or argument, some just description of the philosophy? Why am I referring to the Sanskrit? Because it is said, tarka apratistha. You cannot establish spiritual subject matter. You cannot draw a conclusion just by simple logic. You have to refer to the original source. That's how I am to refer to the original Sanskrit texts. So here I quoted this reference from the natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam, Prayaschittam athopartham manne kunjara sauchavat. When you follow some atonement process, having committed sinful activity, to purify yourself to go to the higher platform, that kind of atonement process has been defined as kunjara sauchavat. Kunjara is elephant. When an elephant takes a bath in a pond and it comes out, immediately it throws dust particle on his body again. That means there is no use of such kind of bath for an elephant. Okay, what is the message for us? The message is, even though you are going through this atonement process, you might have freed yourself from the sinful reaction you have committed in the past, but you are not free from the desires. The desire you are carrying in the heart, the desire will make you commit the same sin again and again and again, just like an elephant. Even though it looks like it's clean, but as soon as it comes to the surface, it throws dust particle all over its body and again gets polluted because of that sinful desire. So similarly, we, just by going through this atonement process or just going to this final day of judgment where we just get some punishment, it's not actually helping us to come to our primordial condition, the natural state that we all are seeking to be. That's how the Shruti says, we need to understand how we can be truly God conscious. Some says, just by studying some Vedic literature, you can understand God. Some give the reference of Mundaka Shruti, Mundaka Upanishad. What do they say? You can, by pravachan, by some intellectual analysis of Vedic literature, you can understand God. That's what some of the spiritual practitioners, they do. They just sit and they read and they try to discuss some philosophy. But here I am giving this reference from Mundaka Upanishad. Nayam atma pravachanena labhya na medhaya na bahuna sutena. Nayam atma, na ayam atma. This living entity cannot be attained. Or you can say, the self-realization, the Brahman realization cannot be attained simply by some academic qualification. Just by giving some lecture. No medhaya, not by your intellect. Srutena, by having high learning, you cannot. Why? Unless and until you have the capability to connect your learning with the Supreme Godhead, who is the source of all learning, it's not going to help you to realize yourself. Let's take a simple example. We are living in a country where there are rules and regulations given to us by the government. When we try to dovetail our nature in following those rules and regulations, then we see the good hand of the government working for us. On the other hand, if we fail to comply with these instructions of the government, then we are forced to see the red hand of the government waving us. Hey, now you are to be punished. Right? Similarly, when we follow these instructions of God correctly, then we see all good in our life. Okay, so here it is said in the scripture that Veda, it describes about the personality of Godhead. Rasa Vaisaha, Rasa hi evayam labdha nandi bhavati. Here, we are trying to remind you about our position either in this world or in the eternal world. All these living entities in this material world are looking for some happiness, rasa, enjoyment, whatever you may say. But they do not know how to get that rasa. That's how the Shruti, the Veda says, rasa hi eva ayam. Ayam. Who is that? Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is the embodiment of all rasa. Labdha, by attaining, having attained that embodiment of all rasa, anandi bhavati, you can become completely joyful. To give you a clear analysis, understanding about this, if you want to test the sweetness of sugar candy, you go buy sugar candy and you chew it from whichever direction, you get only sweet and sweet taste, because the constitutional position of that sugar candy is sweet. Similarly, Rasa Vaisaha, the Supreme Godhead, his constitution is rasa, full of rasa. You can relish that. By attaining him, you can become supremely blissful. Now, that is how these philosophers, they try to analyze the different material and spiritual aspects of the living entities to come to that platform where they can be eternally happy and joyful. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, the name of these big philosophers like Kapila, Jaimini, Kanada, Patanjali, Ashtavakra, all these big philosophers, they have analyzed this material nature in a way without mentioning the spiritual aspect of Godhead. That's how they failed to realize the taste of real rasa. On the other hand, the spiritual leaders in our Vaishnava Parampara, as I mentioned, Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami, Madhvacharya, coming down to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, they have given us the opportunity how, by being in connection with Godhead while following the rules and regulations which helps us to dovetail our nature with Godhead and become happy. Come to the original position. That's how in Gitopanishad it is said, Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We all are individuals, living entities. Who we are. If we are not able to understand who I am, how am I connect with who I am supposed to connect to? Does it make some sense? You should know who you are from, who you actually belong to. When you know, then it will become very easy for you to connect with that person so that you can be completely happy. Let me give you an example to make you understand clearly. Mr. John's son, he left home and he went to a city somewhere in USA and he lost himself in bad association. And then one day you came and you found, hey, you're Mr. John's son. I know your father is such a rich man. Why are you loitering in the street? Man, come on. I'll bring you to your father. Oh, you can bring me to my father? I didn't have any means. I have no money. Okay. Why this son feels happy? Because he can very easily identify himself with his father because that is his original connection. Similarly, here the God says, Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All these living entities in different species of life are my eternal fragmental parts and parcels. So we are eternally separated from Him as a soul. That means He, the complete whole, being the source of us, we need to connect with that complete whole. How can you say we are from Him? Because you are naturally pleasure seeking. When you are seeking for pleasure, joy, happiness, whatever you may say, this confirms you are coming from Him, who is the source, who is the embodiment of all happiness, pleasure, rasa vaisaha. So now, the process of connecting us with that supreme rasa is the way for self-realization. Self-realization does not mean, as some of the spiritual practitioners from India say, oh, practice some pranayama process. Some say just distribute food. Some say practice some Ashtanga yoga. You will realize yourself. That's the way for self-realization. My dear sir, there are more to it. Not that just by practicing some gymnasium acts, by distributing some foods, you can. There is more to it. As we said, if we know the art of dovetailing everything with God, then that helps. If we do not know the art of dovetailing our activities with God, then you are not approaching God. You are being misdirected. Let's take an example. What does it mean? Dovetailing everything with God? Very simple. If we want to survive happily in this world, first of all, we need food, we need clothes, we need shelter, we need some vehicle to move around, we need a job, we need to cultivate something in the field. So now, we need to dovetail all our activities with God. This is what a spiritual teacher, a true spiritual teacher, has to teach his disciples to clear their journey back home, back to Godhead. Very simple. Just like Mr. Tim, he introduced us in the beginning saying, oh, we have some prasadam outside. Prasadam outside. Some people, they say, holy food. Some people say, karma-free food. Whatever you may say. Some people say, this is what I would like to, because when I eat it, I can feel some satisfaction to it. Just like this concept of vegan is very prominent in this part of the world. Why do people today are choosing to become vegan? Let me give you a very, true, realized explanation. Because they see how the animals are being tortured, how they are not truly cared for. And the food which is coming from them is not actually tasteful. It's not making me happy by eating that food. Naturally, you feel like giving up on those foods. You don't like to eat those foodstuffs. Just like she was talking to me this morning, said, when I went to India, I drank the same milk, but I can see so much taste in it. Whereas in this place, I don't see the taste. This is her realization. Am I correct? Yes. Why? Because the way they are treated, they are actually tortured. How can they give you the best part of their life? I mean to say the milk, what you're supposed to drink. So you can definitely find that food is not auspicious for us. Okay, so that means what you eat, it has got connection with your consciousness. Veda says, Ahara Suddhau Sattva Suddhi, Sattva Suddhau Dhriva Smriti, Smriti Lambhe Sarvagrantinam Vipramaksho. Ahara Suddhau Sattva Suddhi. When you eat pure food, then your consciousness becomes purified. When you eat purified food, fine tissue memory becomes active. Smriti lambhe vipramoksho, sarvagrantinam vipramoksho. Then you can connect with the moksha principle, kaivalya principle. What is that kaivalya? Purusartha sunyam. Patanjali, the prominent yoga speaker, he says, Purusartha sunyam gunanam pratiprasava kaivalyam sarupa pratisthava chiti sakti riti. What is that kaivalya we are looking forward to? Says, Purusartha sunyam. What is that Purusartha? Purusartha means material religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and to become one with the Supreme. But it is said, Kaivalyam, Swarupa Pratishtha. To be established in our original position is actual Kaivalya. That is self-realization. That is Brahman realization. So this process, what we are saying, starting with food, that's how Vedanta Sutra says, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya. These are all different aspects of Brahman realization. Just simply realizing the Brahman through food, that is material consciousness. But here, you can see, when we connect our food with God, which becomes pure, then it helps us purify our consciousness, then we merge towards Godhead very easily. That's how I gave this quote from the Veda, Ahara Suddhau Sattva Siddhi Sattva Suddhau Dhruva Smriti Smriti Lambe Sarva Granthi Nam Vipramoksha. And in our connection, in our society, in Vaishnava society, we honor Mahaprasadam. Means what we cook in our temple at home, we first bring to the God who is supremely pure. By coming in contact with the Supreme Pure, who glances over the foodstuff what we offer to him, and he purifies it. And as we get that food and we eat, that's also pure, and we become purified. It's a very natural way, natural science. This is also a way for self-realization. Some people, they misguide us. They say, no, you come to my yoga society. I'll teach you in one day how you can be self-realized. My dear sir, how is it possible? Just by going to a yoga society, sitting there in an asana for an hour or two, when your mind is filled with all this garbage in the world, what you have been seeing and experiencing, and you can become self-realized? Hey, wait a minute. Don't try to cheat us. Say something which is kind of obvious. Obvious factor is you cannot just separate yourself outright there by sitting in a yoga class in an hour from all these experience you have had in this lifetime and in your previous life. So there's a way for purification. That's how they say, you come for prayer. You come for yoga practice. Yes, prayer is very helpful to purify our consciousness. What we eat has a very important effect in our consciousness. How we dress, it also has effect on our consciousness. Do you believe how you dress, it affects your consciousness? Yes? Yes, many of you nodding your head. Good. So, that means this self-realization aspect or the culture of Brahman realization has to go simultaneously with our daily life. You are actually this very life is nothing but a preparation for the next. What is next? You are thinking the next is to realize God. Okay? So how you are preparing in this life? How is your journey helping you to come next to realize Brahman? You go to yoga society, you learn something, and you don't study anything. They don't give you any literature. No, in our society, we have a very systematic approach. When we join as newcomer, we are taught with little philosophy. Then we are given further education. We are not meant to become a blind follower because we have intelligence. We have right to ask questions until we find out this is bona fide. I can tell you, give you my life experience. After completing my study, I joined in this movement. And as soon as I joined in the movement, I was given with some managerial responsibility. And I did not take initiation from this movement for 6 years. What I was doing? Because I am an educated boy, I was studying, I was trying to understand what's in it for me. And as I went on studying, I came to a point where all my questions were answered. And I found, oh, where? This is the way. I must go forward. What I mean to say is, everybody as an individual should not blind something because he is saying me. Because he is saying me. No, you try to understand with proper scriptural evidence, with reasoning, philosophical understanding, that you are on the correct path in God realization. That's also a Brahman realization. That's how I have been appointed as the director of International Society for Krishna, director of Mayapur Institute, which is a part of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness movement. And this Mayapur Institute is established to teach self-realization to whole world. Today, I am getting 80% of my students from outside of India. They are between 18 to 35 years of age. Who are they? Just youngsters. They are looking forward to self-realization. They are coming, and what I am teaching there? Teaching all these Vedic literatures. Bhagavad-Gita, Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam, many other literature. Which gives a very clear analytical understanding about Godhead. There is not many organizations today you find in the world who are actually teaching this. So in essence, we are meant to help guide the soul how they can realize who they are and connect with God. That is what it entails to self-realization, or you can say Brahman realization. Now I can ask you a question. Do you think this Brahman realization is meant for the human being? What do you think? Hope so. Still there is a question mark. There might be more to it. No. We as a living entity has a responsibility to realize God, which is Brahman. That living entity may be encased in the human body. That living entity may be encased in an animal body or in any other life form. And all these living entities have the right to realize Brahman. So in our society, we have the evidence, and we can now give you the evidence from the Vedic literature how there are living entities, apparently speaking, encased in some other life form than human being at an God realization. Brahman realization. Just like if you take the example of Hanuman, you have heard of the name Hanuman? He is a perfectly realized soul who was not a human being. He was not born as a human being. Am I right? Yes, you can see it. See, I have to say something which you can relate to. I don't want to make a just concoct some philosophy here to deliver to you so that you will say, oh yes, you are saying something good. No. I have to say something which you can relate to it. Hanuman. Yes, he was Brahman realized. Okay? There are demons. There are demons who were also God realized. Who are they? You have heard the name of Bali Maharaj? Maybe you have not. Okay. He was born in the demoniac family. He was born in demoniac family, demon. And because his association with the devotees of the Lord was there, that's how he became self-realized. There's another boy whose name is Prahlad. He was born in a devotee, in a demoniac family. His father was a demon, Hiranyakashipu. His father was a demon. And he came across the sound vibration from Narad Muni while he was in his mother's womb. You see how, in which situation you are getting Brahman realization, self-realization. When this baby, first of all, he was the son of a demon, Rakshasa. Where he was in his mother's womb. He got self-realization. There's another demon whose name is called, now I need to tell you, Vrishaparva. After Vrishaparva was born, his mother abandoned him. And he came in contact with a Muni, a saintly person. That's how he became self-realized. Realized God, became devotee of Vishnu. Sugriv, Jambuvan, Gajendra, they were all in animal body. They attained Brahman realization. See, when we talk about Brahman realization, self-realization, it's not just only limited to us as human beings. It has a very wide range of perspective. We all, in this country and other country, I believe, keep pet animals, right? And we love them so much. Why? If you go deep, they are also part of God. And that way, if you can help them to become God conscious, that's also good. So you can see here, I gave you a lot of evidence from Shastra where all these entities, born in demon family, born as a human being, born as animals, they all attain Brahman realization. Now, coming to the conclusion. As we said, Vedic knowledge is very vast. If you try to understand it without following the proper channel, it's very easy to get misdirected. So now, I gave you the example of some demons, some animals, and human beings. They all became self-realized, God-realized. How did it happen? If we see that from that evidence, then it is obvious for us we can follow the same path and we can become Brahman-realized, self-realized. Who can deny that Vritrasura, another demon, mentions in Bhagavatam, was not Brahman-realized? Who can say Prahlad? Who can say Vrishaparva, Maidana, Bibhisan, Sugriv, Hanuman, Gajendra, they were not self-realized. No, they were all self-realized. They are all Brahman realized. How did it happen? Let me tell you. Vritrasur, he was a demon. Vritrasur, he was a demon. He was fighting with Indra. Indra is the Lord of heaven. You know, probably. He was fighting with Indra. When he was fighting with Indra, he was so powerful. He was so powerful, he could defeat Indra in no time. And Indra had a special weapon, Vajra. If he threw at Vritrasura, Vritrasura will die immediately. And prior to attacking Vritrasura with thunderbolt, that's called Vajra, he threw his gada at Vritrasura. And Vritrasura, he cut hold of that club and, he threw it again. It went and struck in the head of Airavat, on which back Indra was riding. And Airavat went back around 15 meters, 20 meters, and struck to the ground. And Indra was puzzled. Oh, what am I going to do now? Now he's going to attack me, and my life is finished. And Indra is having thunderbolt in his hand. If he threw that thunderbolt, is going to end Vritrasura's life. Now Indra is puzzled. You see, this Vritrasura, who was a demon, he is saying, "Hey, my dear Indra, why are you afraid? Don't know this very weapon which you are carrying in your hand, thunderbolt, just throw at me. Why are you not throwing that weapon to me? I am suffering in this body. I want to leave this body. I am just waiting to unite with my all-loving God in His abode." Giving the example, just like a woman is waiting for the union with her husband who is living in far, far away in a foreign country. She is looking forward to meeting with her husband. Giving another example, just like a calf tied in a piece of rope in the house, and the mother calf is moving in the jungle. Throughout the whole day, the calf is waiting for the arrival of mother. How I can drink the milk? Similarly, this body, since I am engaged in this demon's body, has kept me away from my all-loving Godhead for so many years. It's totally intolerable to me. I don't want to suffer anymore. Please help me to get relief from this very form. Throw that Vajra at me. Do you think such wonderful prayer can come out of a demon just like that? Because he had association of Narad Muni in his previous life. Who is Narad Muni? He is the representative of God. He understands God incomplete. And he tells about Godhead in complete as it is. Because he has connection with God, and he explains about Godhead, it rings the bell in the heart of the listener. That's the way for self-realization. Because here is a guru who has connection with God. When he speaks from his heart, and he can ring the bell in your heart, and you can relate. That's the proof. Just like we take the example of our founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He came to West, to this country. He started his spiritual propagation from this country with Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Means there is no question of adulteration. As it is. A pure spiritual teacher is meant to teach the pure teachings of Godhead without adulteration. That is the way for self-realization. So, when you come across the pure teaching of Godhead, which is disseminated through a bona fide acharya, Brahman realized person, self-realized soul, who understands the difference between material nature and spiritual nature, and who has the power to connect himself with the Godhead and the others, he is a true spiritual teacher. So in that way, you can connect yourself with Godhead through a proper association. Somebody wants to become a professional thief. Somebody wants to become a professional businessman. Who he should go and associate with? Go and associate with a successful businessman. Right? Just by reading medical science, you cannot become a perfect doctor. Right? For which you need to go through a practice under a true doctor. That's how, after completion of your medical science, I mean to say study of medical science, then you are supposed to go under a doctor for practice for 2 years, at least. That's how you become a qualified doctor. Not that just by finding some religious book, by reading some book, you can become self-realized, you can become Brahman realized. Not that just by going and listening to anyone who is just offering a storehouse, like selling some commodities in the market. Oh, come here, you can be God realized. What is the authenticity to your position? Look back. See. Then, yes, if you are, I am coming. He has to be, first of all, connected with the proper chain of disciplic succession, the knowledge, he has realized it, and he's speaking like that, not making some concoctive philosophy. And you can see, when he speaks, it rings the bell. Not on the material ground, but on the spiritual ground. It helps you to connect. That's how when His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada arrived in this place, and he started speaking Bhagavad-Gita as it is, the whole country was very much affirmative and receptive to what Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada had to give. Why did he choose to come to this place? You may ask me this question. Because that was the instruction of his Guru Maharaj, and he found the people in this place are very intelligent. And intelligent people, they can connect. They can understand something with proper reasoning. And once they accept, they never give up. And India is following these people. So if I can come and talk to these honest people, intelligent people, and who can connect with me what I have to say, then it will become very easy for me to convince the rest of the world. Yes, you are successful. That's how, when I got the visa, I also told the same thing. Krishna has got a very special plan for us. He is bringing us here from Navadvip. Navadvip is a combination of 9 islands. This is also a place of islands, right? So we are coming from that country, that place. And we have something to offer to you, my dear ladies and gentlemen. Please try to understand the way for self-realization, for Brahman realization. It's open for all. Not that it is limited to a particular community, a particular country. No. Don't think it like that. It's not a business of a country. It is not a business of a particular spiritual teacher. It is not a business of a particular community. Just like God, when He says, Aham bija pradapita, God is not limited to the Indians. He is not Indian God. God is for all. How can you claim God belongs to you? No, my dear sir. That's how we are coming here with an open heart. We are ready to embrace all of you. And you all are qualified to become self-realized. You need that kind of enlightenment, that kind of connection. And we are here to congratulate all of you to come, associate with us, ask intelligent questions, not from the mind, from the level of heart. And we also want to exchange our heart with you so that you all can get the benefit of clearing your way back home, back to Godhead, which is your true spiritual nature. Anandamaya abhyasat. Asanga hi ayam purusa. Again Veda says, Asanga hi ayam purusa. Living entity has got no connection with this material nature. Unfortunately, we are identifying ourselves with this nature and complicating ourselves and becoming unhappy. Because anandamaya abhyasat. By nature, you all are blissful. So, the true path of self-realization is understanding your true joyful spiritual nature and then connecting yourself with that Supreme Lord who is also Rasa, embodiment of Rasa. How to do that? So one way is association. When you associate, you learn something. You learn the practice. So in our society, we teach some activity. Spiritual life, self-realization is not a silent practice. You sit and just meditate on some light or something. No. It has to have some activity. Rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. When you follow the path of bhakti, then you get the way open for self-realization. So in that way, self-realization entails study of books under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual teacher, eventually which guides you to employ your senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what entails the process of self-realization or Brahman realization. So, we hope we are able to give you some message and practical ways and means to understand what is the true process of self-realization. Of course, we share the teachings how a bona fide teacher helps on the spiritual journey back home, back to Godhead. Now, if you would like to ask me some questions, you are most welcome.
And I want to thank all of you for being here. There is a love offering basket out there, yes? And so if anyone, whenever you leave, if you would wish to leave a love offering, some of that goes for the church just to help pay for things here. Another part of it will go, if it's okay, to His Grace Padmanayana Das.
So before we conclude, I have some offering for all of you.
Oh.
Because I am coming from the holy land of Navadvip, which is the birthplace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And from there I have brought this gift. I want to give all of you. You can take it in your hand and you can touch it with your head to create good fortune for yourself. This is coming from Lord Nrsimhadev. And of course, because I am coming from Orissa, the land of Jagannath. This is also coming from Jagannath. Okay? This is his toothbrush.
His toothbrush.
Jagannath's toothbrush. So I want to touch it on your head to bring more enlightenment, auspiciousness to your spiritual journey. So you can come and you can take these blessings from me, then you can head forward to your next program.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have some quick questions? I know that our time, it's about 8:30, but yeah, Salim, do you have a question?
Thank you very much. That was a fascinating presentation. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse, so I'll keep it short. You mentioned about the need for a teacher to go and get self-realization. What if a situation is such that there is no teacher available? Is this something that one can develop oneself?
Very good. Guru is must. Spiritual topic is not something like you just read it. It's a question of sharing the realization. Just like I gave you the example. If everybody by studying medical book can become a doctor, true surgeon, then there is no need for going in association with a surgeon to gain more experience. So as true spiritual teacher, he does not teach philosophy. Anyway, philosophy is available in the book. But when a true spiritual teacher, he applies the practice of those philosophy in his personal life, that's how he connects himself with the God and gets new realizations. You all need to hear about that realization. Then you can go forward in your journey. If you find he's not a true bona fide teacher, then you should go to another who is actual bona fide teacher. Very simple. But that's the way. Acharya mam bijaniyat. A true Acharya represents Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam says, Acharya mam bijaniyat. An Acharya, a spiritual teacher, who does not follow what he teaches, he is not an Acharya. You must abandon him. He should practice what he preaches. Then he is an Acharya. So you find that kind of Acharya, listen to him, your life will be successful. That's how, that's the way.
Thank you. Another quick question? Any quick questions? By the way, Navadvip, where Maharaj is from, 9 islands, when Srila Prabhupada came here to Hawaii, he said, oh, this is like Navadvip, so it's called New Navadvip. That's where we live. And so Prabhupada lived here for some time and walked and swam at the beaches of Waimanalo. Loved the beach of Waimanalo. Yeah. Yes, Davidas.
I just wanted to, is this on? Oh, I just wanted to mention that for the last year, His Grace Padmanayana Prabhu agreed to have an online class for Hawaii residents. And that goes on every Saturday when he's able, and there's no time difference in the zones while he's traveling, which is going to happen between now and October. But for the last year that he has been giving classes, it's been very, very regular. And I've been a student of the Bhakti Yoga philosophy for 40 years. But hearing from someone of his acumen and depth of study, as he explained, he didn't even take a real plunge into this ocean of Krishna philosophy and Bhakti Yoga until after 6 years of really checking it out. He's very astute and very much an example of what he teaches. And even after 40 years of studying this philosophy, when I first heard from him, just to share, we're studying the Bhagavad-Gita, I felt like I was on the battlefield right next to Krishna and Arjuna. Isn't this t-shirt? Hearing from him, he's a very, very good teacher. And Salim, my old friend, aloha, Hare Krishna, nice to see you. There's the books also, and there's some my Vani and Vapu is a Sanskrit word which means personal form and sound form. So even though the teacher may not be before you directly, their spiritual presence is there in their writings. And sometimes we would ask our founder, how can we connect and stay with you after you're gone? And he said, he'll live forever in his books. And he told us that these books, the Bhagavad-Gita as it is, and the books that are taught in the Mayapur Institute will become law books. This is a prediction. Law books for the next 10,000 years for the world. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you so much for coming. We are grateful. Thank you. And thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, the process is, please just give me maybe 1 more minute. What I would suggest is, because this is the unique gift you are going to receive, so you should also be prepared in your mind to accept it in that way. Just 3 times you will chant Mahamantra, I will repeat. Then you all can come, and while in that meditation, you must take this from me. And so now you can just 3 times chant, then I will continue singing, you come and you will receive from me. Clear? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, पावन अवतारी श्री गौर हरि की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Thank you all very much. Now you can come and take the blessings. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,